Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Howdy, 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 and welcome to the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 VRS Super Series here at Phillip Island for round number 7 of Season 6 here on Apex Racing TV. I'm Austin, I'm joined by Sam Fitzpatrick, and we got John Robertson in the production booth. Sam, how are you feeling? It's great to have you back in the booth.
Thank you very much. This is one of my favorite series I think we have on the channel. I just love the format that we have on this. The fact that you kind of got elimination elements. I love elimination whenever it can be used. And then of course we have the 4 really good races. Everyone's always around drivers who they are very evenly matched to. And Phillip Island, I'm hoping for a photo finish. Of course, Austin, you witnessed a photo finish last week at Imola. There's a much bigger chance here, so that's what I've got my fingers crossed for here at Phillip, because it's probably the best photo finish track, I think, in all of iRacing.
It is one of my favorite tracks. The final sector is so much fun. The final 4 corners, you can set up a very good run, and especially on that final lap, if you're within there, you can have a drag race because that finish line is pretty far down that straightaway, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, turn 1, that run up to turn 1 is just so fun. You can get a good run side by side, and you know, you get some daring moves out there. Drivers trying to hold around the outside as well, set themselves up for turn 2, and then you got that long straightaway, curves less into that tight right-hander. Yeah, that's where you're going to be seeing a lot of the overtaking opportunities, but also that's also the main area where we're going to be seeing our incidents today.
Yeah, I think that's a good shot, particularly on lap 1. Honda hairpin is traditionally where we see some bowling pins, so hopefully we avoid that as much as possible. You were previously seeing the Pro Championship. There is the Amateur Championship. Richard Boberg, I mean, terrific job. Cannot state it enough. Boberg has been around in ARA for a while. I think this is his maybe 3rd or 4th F3 season. I think he also did the FR 2.0 series as well. And he's taking his level to a brand new platform. I mean, he's been so consistent, and you can see the strong cap that he has got. Also got a good drop score, does Boberg, so he can have can afford 1 more bad round and still gets away with it. There's Glamsetzer though in 2nd place, Reeve in 3rd, Russell and Blaze rounding out the top 5, and in the pros it was Tobias Olsen who missed the previous round of the championship, so his drop score is not very good, so he does need to have some decent rounds to finish, but he has still got a good gap over Martins and Schnabel. I think it was Wemstra who won last time out, and Herm is still around there as well, but I think Olsen, the defending champion, the car number 1, still the big favourite for the title as it stands.
It is a this championship is getting pretty close with 3 rounds left. And qualifying is currently going on right now. Are there any drivers making a little bit surprised that you aren't expecting them to be there?
At the moment, we've got Torp at the front by half a second, which is a very good effort for Torp. Wonder if he got a bit of a toe around that final part of the lap. Glamset now moves up into 13th place, top of the amateur jars. We had Aaron Smith have a terrific round at Imola last time out. I think probably the most competitive I've ever seen him drive. And let's see if he can move up. Doesn't need to improve a lot in order to go up a lot of places. And he does not improve over. That one was a long way off. So preparing for his next up, but still 5 more minutes to go in this qualifying session.
Yeah, 5 minutes left in this qualifying session here today. As well, drivers, they've some of them haven't experienced Phillip Island as much as some other drivers here in the Formula 3 series. We don't go to Phillip Island that much, but Bakken jumps up into 3rd. But Phillip Island, such a fun track. It's visited a lot by the Formula 3.5 series here on iRacing, and the Spec Racer Ford series earlier this season was here, and I can tell you that race was a lot of fun.
Yes, I was commentating on that one, and yeah, I was surprised that the toe wasn't stronger on the run to the line, but just about survived. But I mean, it's so much slipstreaming.
They don't have the draft profile of the MX-5. So the MX-5 series came here, there'd be 20 overtakes on that front straightaway.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and the spec racer ball was good. I'm sure the MX-5s were good, and then of course very different beasts. These Formula 3 cars.
Was there something just sitting at the side of the road in that shot?
Yeah, I thought there was like a nose cone or something.
Yeah, it looked too thick to be a nose cone, but I think there was some incident right there.
Yeah, not sure if anyone else is currently passing that part of the circuit, but I'm sure.
I think it despawned. I saw it blip away, but yeah, there was a little bit of incident already in qualifying. So You know, there might be some talk already for qualifying penalties. Sam, you better get on that one.
Yes.
And speaking
We
of
haven't had too
penalties,
many, as Olsen goes to the top, so really good time there from Olsen. And he was not really near the front in practice, which was a bit ominous, but the championship leader suddenly goes to the top of the standings, and that was a big improvement there, and will be very tricky to beat for everyone else.
yeah, he's jumped that half a second gap to Thomas Torp, and well, improved it to a 10th. And Olsen and Torp are pretty much untouchable. But yeah, before that happened, I asked what penalties are we looking at today? Who's going to be starting from the pit lane in the heats?
Well, one of the drivers unfortunately is going to have to start from the pits in 2 of the races. So we have got Gavin Petty and Cambrali Chani, who are starting from the pits in their heat, and then Sorensen will be starting from the pits in his heat. And then maybe the B final, or maybe the A final, depends which one he gets through from. If he finishes top 8, but you would expect him to have to start from the pits in the B final. Will be tricky for him to get up there, but I mean, Austin, we can have big crashes around this circuit, starting 16th in the heats. I mean, you could quickly have 5 of the drivers get eliminated on lap 1 in front of you, so still possibilities for him to advance.
Yeah, we have 35 drivers signed up right now. It says 16 and 17 car grids. Heat number 1 is going to have 17. Heat number 2 is going to have 16 cars. Believe my math is right, because the odd numbers go first, so that will be the more cars.
Yes,
we'll see.
You're correct.
Yeah, okay, we'll see in 2 minutes. But yeah, that's going to be an uphill battle because 17 cars around here, they're all going to be on a fantastic run heading into turn 1. And, coming out of the pits after a standing start right here is going to be very hurtful for you. But we've seen a few of these drivers who start from the pits able to just magically make themselves go up the field. And also, we've seen incidents, and the Honda hairpin is very common to have those big incidents in there. So, it's all up in the air on what will happen.
Rasmussen just crossing the line right now, so that was a nothing lap, and he won't be able to complete this next lap. The drivers have got to complete their lap time before the time is up. Jestrum Bakken is out there in 4th position. I'm not seeing any particularly spectacular sector times, however, for the Norwegian driver, so I'm not imagining too much from him as he approaches the line. Lado improves, but stays in 3rd position. What can Jestrum Bakken do? No, he cannot improve himself. Also got Negretti to cross the line. Glamsetter might be able to reach the line, but in terms of your front runners, that is going to be it, because Rosenkrantz will not reach the line. Time just got 10 more seconds to go. In fact, Rosenkrantz, you can see at the bottom of the screen, 2 personal best first 2 sectors, but he ran out of time, so that's a shame for him to miss out.
Oh, that's always painful when you know you're on a very good lap and then the time's like, nuh-uh. Well, qualifying is over. It's time to go to our first heat on the grid. Tobias Olsen will be starting up a pole with Alejandro Lado in 2nd place. Nicholas Rasmussen, Chris Rosenkrantz, Kevin Zwemstra, Alexander Scarrett, Lennart Schnabel, Justin Negret, Matthias Martinson, Aaron Smith, Demo Braun, Phillip Russell will be starting from 12th place. Josh Lane, Stefan Deck, Michael Kaibach, Andreas Helgard, Dorian Arroyo, and Kabali Chani in 18th will be starting for the pit lane in the 18th spot. So we were both wrong.
Yes, so it was 35, wasn't it? So it'll be 18 on this one and then 17 in the next one, I guess. So I guess slight advantage for the Heat 2, but I mean, it's not significant. Yeah, Chani will just try to recover some points. Of course, for anyone who's new to this series, they do score points for their heat results. Not all about just getting through to the B and the A finals. You do get points for your heats, but you get probably about 60% more points for the finals. You get points for both the A final and the B final. So, I mean, those are the main races, but it is worth finishing high up in these heats as well. And so those pit lane starts do cost you quite badly. And interesting that Phillip Russell, who I think was on very good form actually last time at him, and I think he was 1 out of the amateur category, 4 places below that advancing spot. So I'm sure a lot of drivers will be aiming for that. That looks like a very hotly contested 8th place in this, I think, very high quality Heat 1.
Yeah, this Heat 1 is really stacked. 11 pros, and then and then a few of the top amps as well. And this is kind of looking like a consolidated final, honestly. Everybody here has got a big chance to actually win this. I'm seeing no clear favorite outside of Tobias Olsen, Alexander Leto, and Rasmussen. Those top three are, I believe, might have a little bit of advantage over everybody else if they get into clear air. But I'm looking at the field right now. Some drivers are having low downforce. Some drivers are doing medium downforce. We're going to see who is choosing the right setup right here as we go 5 red lights and we go green, green, green. We got a staller on the field right there. Aaron Smith stalled off the line as we go to green flag racing. Tobias Olsen leads out Leto, defending all the way down to the inside right there. And there's Rasmussen looking down to the inside of Leto. Rasmussen and Leto going side by side through turn 1. They still step aside. One car goes off into the grass and they're careening with a lot of speed. That is Alexander Scarrett getting slowed down in the grass right there. And off goes Leto. Leto goes wide. He's in the sand trap on the outside of turn 2. Olsen, Rasmussen, Rosencrantz, Schnabel, Zwemscher, your top 5. Leto off the track after starting in 2nd place next to Tobias Olsen. Nicholas Rasmussen is getting overtaken. Is down the inside, goes to 178. We got a big crash. The teammates, the Alcatech cars, make contact. Martinson and Zwemscher make contact with each other. Big chaos at the front of this field right now. One car going wide, that's Phillip Russell. He's currently sitting in 7th place, having a massive start right now. But the driver who has the best start right now, Stefan Deck. He's up into 5th. He started 9 spots lower than where right now. Stefan Deck has had an absolute stormer of a start.
I mean, Martinson will be outraged with himself, as will his teammates, as you see him move, I think, for K-Batch on lane, and also just running wide in the background. I think that was Helgerud dropping a couple of places. Arroyo, apologies, dropping a couple of places. He was gaining quite a few off the starts. As we're going to have a fight for P2 here. Rasmussen with the quick start, trying to get past Olsen, who of course did not get away too well. Rosencrantz leads after the opening lap, and Olsen holding on round the outside. Where did we see that change of position? I thought Olsen was leading into Honda hairpin, but
it was, oh,
we got another off at Smith. Oh, such a good start.
No. He had a horrible start. He stalled. He off the line. He was a car that was slow off the grid.
You're right. Yep.
It was Aaron Smith, but he benefited from the Honda hairpin. Olsen was leading coming out of the 2nd hairpin, leading to sector 3, and it looks like he let Rosencrantz by. He was really slow at the exit, and that allowed Rosencrantz to take the lead of the race right before the end of lap number 1. So it was a very confusing situation, but what I said at the start of this race, these top 3 are going to start running away from it, and they already got a 1.5 second gap to Team LeBron right behind.
We've so far had 6 races this season. Olsen has done 5 of them. And in those 5, 4 of them, he's won both his heat and the A final. He's been absolutely insane. As we see a replay of what happened to Lado. He was tight on corner entry, wasn't he? And I think it's just the cold tyres, Austin, which has not yielded enough grip. But he was going a long way off there. I mean, it wasn't a case of just dipping a wheel onto the grass. He was understeering all the way.
I think he was looking to use that understeer to get the better exit and try to block, as we got Olsen looking down to the inside of Rosencrantz. Olsen sets it up and fires it home back into 1st place right there, defending champion. Definitely showing his marks. Now, I want to point out the rear wings right here. I mentioned it slightly in a little bit of rush tones. Look at Tobias Olsen's and Rosencrantz wing. They're a lot more defined. Now look at the rear wing of Rasmussen. It's a lot thinner than these two at the front.
Yeah, it'll be way more raceable, won't it? And that's really what you want. If he can get to the front, Rasmussen, he's going to be tricky to overtake, because of course he'll be rubbish on this part of the circuit, but much faster at the pit straight. I honestly think this is probably the #1 track for dividing those downforce levels, as we've got an ambitious move here over Lukey Heights for Rosencrantz. He'll have the outside line for the next corner, and this is music for Rasmussen's and Braun's eyes right now, because they are catching up big time. But Olsen keeps the lead, but these guys are fighting really tooth and nail, Austin, despite it being in the early stages of Heat 1.
It's the early stages of Heat 1, but you know, when you tell these drivers like, hey, play it safe, they ain't gonna listen to you. They're gonna have a lot of fun. They love to race. They love to drive at Phillip Island, as here comes Rasmussen in that low downforce trim down to the inside. Rasmussen up into the lead. Now we're going to see that low downforce advantage, see if he can stay ahead of Olsen and Rosecrans, because we saw the speed that he had on the straightaway. Whipped from third all the way to the lead of this race. Now the front
Olsen's off.
Olsen's gone wide into the
he's
grass.
lucky.
It's lucky that he's just lost one spot and not multiple, but that promotes Rosecrans up in a second. Rosecrans defending on Olsen. Olsen going on to the outside of the Honda hairpin. These two might continue fighting with each other and allow Rasmussen to start running away from each other. He's pulled off a half-second gap. But will that lower downforce rear wing, and he's running the same downforce trim level in the front wing as Rosecrans and Olsen. It's just his rear wing is a lot thinner than both of those. So that looks like to be the setup that all the Alcatech cars were running, and we saw the two teammates make contact with each other at the start of this race in the Honda hairpin. But the Alcatech car of Rasmussen leading out this race. And this is where we're going to be seeing that advantage for that lower downforce car. Watch that gap. See, watch how low it gets, because he's not pulling off a big draft like Rosecrans and Rasmussen are. Rosecrans and Olsen are. And he should be able to keep that gap to about at least 3/10 by the end of the straight. And
Way
Olsen
onto the grass.
Track and new fast lap for Rasmussen. So that low downforce trim is actually really working right now very well in clean air.
Yeah, it seems to be going well. Instant for Zwemstra on that previous lap, by the way, and he's now down to 14th place, so ended any hope of him getting through as Scarrett gets overtaken by K-Batch. K-Batch is very wide though, and Scarrett takes back that coveted 8th place. Remember, top 8 go through to the A final automatically. The rest will go into the B final. We'll have to fight for top sport for place in that, as another attempt to move from K-Batch. Watch. Downforce level is pretty much the exact same seemingly for these two drivers, but look at Schnabel really catch up to these guys. Schnabel, one of the front runners in the championship, had an awful lap one, I think got taken out by his teammate, and Lado as well, who has recovered well. Lado only 10 seconds off the lead. There has not been a whole lot of field spread so far in this race, considering the chaos that we saw earlier on, as we've got another overtake at Lukey Heights. Not usually an overtaking spot, but these guys are really trying it tonight. Scarrett though keeping that 8th place, and this is great for Russell just up ahead. He is making a nice gap, and that's going to help him for when Schnabel and Lado chase after him later on.
Yeah, Schnabel is definitely going to be running that low downforce on the straight. Now we're going to see Rasmussen and Rosecrans going side by side. Rasmussen, he didn't have that big enough gap right there, but he's able to stay right to the side, going to try to hold it around the outside. And here comes Olsen, making it almost 3 wide, forcing Rasmussen to just back out of it, as Olsen surprisingly shoots up into second place, and now it's back to Rosecrans leading the race. Olsen in second place, Rasmussen in third. Rasmussen looking down to the inside of Olsen right there, centering himself up. But we got a car off. Kaibach is off in the grass.
I don't think he was going to get through to the transfer spots anyway, but that's going to compromise his grid position for the B final. You really want to be at the front for the grid in the B final, and that is going to send him down, I mean, potentially 15 odd spots, potentially. He might be at the back of it pretty much now, so that is a costly mistake from there. But yeah, Rosenkrantz back to the lead then, also not dropping too much time to the race leader, so should be alright. Scarrett now occupies that 8th place, but Schnabel and Lado, they're surely going to be storming straight past him. I cannot see him being able to hold off. Wow, it'll be tight. I mean, one of Schnabel or Lado will not get through to the A final. As long as they don't have any mistakes, they'll be at least at the front of the B final, so they should have no problem transferring. But that is a big scalp early on.
You got a big scalp earlier as side by side for the lead once again. Olsen and Rasmussen going side by side. Olsen though around the outside, proved on that lap, and yeah, these three are inseparable right now. Even with that difference in the downforce, it's just looking like these two are just, well, two peas in a pod, honestly, as Schnabel sets himself up around the outside, down to the inside, gets up into 8th place on Scarrett right there. And Schnabel, that lower downforce car, Rosecrans overtakes Olsen side by side through the Honda hairpin. Olsen defending it, gets very wide. It looks like he came across the track right there to cover off Rosecrans. And he went all the way to the grass right there. And kicks up a little bit of dirt as well. But apparently these top three pulled away for the rest of everybody else, and you know, this is going to be I feel like this is going to be the story for most of today, Oh, that is such a gutsy place to look down the inside. And the setup right there as they head over the hill. Scarrett, though, looking very racy and dicey indeed as Lado is coming back for that transfer spot.
Yeah, he really needs to get away right now, does Schnabel. He's got lower downforce, so he's struggling to pull away around that part. And now the draft is going to sort of counteract that strong straight line speed he's going to have. And look at the response here from Scarrett. Also, potentially Schnabel might have damage after contact on lap 1. And there goes the Norwegian back up the inside. Now the pace will sort of neutralize, and maybe in the second part of the straight, Schnabel will be able to get back past. But instead, it is the former who gets ahead. Big slide through turn 1, did well to hold on to it, but he overheated the tyres, had to be a bit cautious into turn 2, and he's still moving about out on circuit, and that might just be the break that Schnabel needs to pull away in 8th place as Lado becomes ominously closer.
Well, Schnabel, when he was overtaken right there, he set himself wide, but he's gone wide in the braking zone right there, locked up the brakes just a little bit, and down to the inside. Here comes Scarrett, but around the outside, Schnabel's able to hold it. It was very twitchy by both of them in the brakes right there, but heading through turn 1, when Schnabel was overtaken, he's gone wide, and then he's cut back down to the inside, kind of like a switchback maneuver, using all the track right there, and I think they almost touched. They might have touched, honestly. That's how close they got at the exit of turn 1, and it was fantastic to watch.
Not going to catch up to Russell anymore. He'll be delighted about that one, as the race leaders just moving on to their final lap of the race. Schnabel, he's not far enough ahead, is he? Scarrett's going to get back past him for once again, and Lado gets continuously closer. Can you imagine if Lado beats both these drivers and gets straight to the A final? It's looking like a real possibility. Scarrett back down the inside. This is where he nearly lost the car 1 lap ago. I think he touched the curb a bit too much, but he touches the curb again, and they were so close there, millimeters apart. Fortunate that there wasn't any netcode, as round the outside goes Schnabel, way more confidence out there, but he cannot get past, and this is well and truly a three-way pack. However, I think we may have to cut to the leaders, because it could come down to the wire for the race win.
Flag. Yeah, it's white flag right now, so we go 3 wide into the hot airpin. I know we need to go to the leaders right now. 10 seconds remain in this race, and they're halfway through it, so it is white flag. Let's go to our leaders. I know this fight for the 3 is so good, though. And it's the fight between Olsen and Rosenkrantz. They've dropped Rasmussen right now as they head up through the links down to the inside. Oh, that's a big look by Rosenkrantz down the inside by Tobias Olsen. Wasn't going to send for it, but look who's got the better exit. That's going to be Rosenkrantz right there. The last time heading through this run-up right now, Olsen leading out Rosenkrantz. It's a drag race. Rosenkrantz looking down to the inside of Olsen. Olsen cuts off Rosenkrantz right now. Rosenkrantz, though, he has this wing on the inside. It's going to be a drag race right now. Side by side, they go to the line. It is just separated just under a 10th, 500ths of a second separate them. Tobias Olsen takes the win. And it's a very choppy exit. And here is the fight for the final transfer spot. Scarrett escapes into 8th place, and Schnabel, oh, he's probably just not happy about that one, and well, exploded that car into thousands of little tiny carbon bits.
Well done to Scarrett there. I mean, I think there was maybe one questionable move at Honda hairpin, but he's been able to hold off Schnabel there. And I mean, I feel bad for everyone else who gets into the B farm, because there's 4 transfer spots, and 2 of them are guaranteed to be occupied by Schnabel and Lado. I mean, Schnabel, like 3rd place in the championship, Lado 3rd place in qualifying. No one else is going to have a chance. And you've got Zwemstra there as well. Zwemstra, Smith, Schnabel, Lado. I mean, we could, well, have our 4 transfer spots right there for the B final. It's going to be tricky for anyone from Heat 2 to beat those guys.
Yeah, that was an exciting Heat 1. And guess what? That's race 1 out of 4 today.
It's such a good format, Austin, isn't it? It's such a good format.
Both you and I are going to be exhausted at the end of this broadcast. So I'm going to be honest. I'm loving it. I'm going to love it. As Thomas Torp will be starting up on pole with Max Christian Bakken in 2nd place. I think this is the first time we're seeing Christian Bakken on the front row in the heat. Josh Shue will be starting in 3rd. Kitty Larson, Samuel Hermer, James Cockram, Mike Thurman, Nicholas Westman, Hendrik Anderson, Christian Glamstetter, Michael Blias, and Alistair Hay in 12th place. Behind them, Richard Bogberg, Jack Reef, Nick Poliard, Jose Arroyo, and Gavin Petty in 17th. So we're ready for heat number 2. Sam, any people to look out for?
Alzugari, he's going to win this one.
All right, well, there is Sam's prediction right there as we go green, green, green here at Phillip Island for heat number 2 of the Apex Racing Academy VRS Formula 3 Super Series. Nice clean start by everybody. No real drama off the line. I would say the biggest loser off the line would be Michael Blias. Side by side, deeper in the field for turn 1, Kitty Larson and Joshua going side by side right there. The 146 of Kitty Larson having that inside line though, making that a pretty nice 1-2-3 right there for the teammates. And oh, that is looking photo worthy right there if you're a team representative for them.
Come on, guys, let's hit the brakes. Oh, no, we haven't. Oh, let's go wipe out. Oh, no, it was the 119. It was Anderson for Alcantech. Wasn't it an Alcantech driver? He started it all off earlier on as well. I mean, Anderson with the mistake. It was Alcantech NHR 2 as well, so it's exactly the same team, those 2 drivers. Only 2 drivers in that team. And they caused those incidents. That I imagine will be a penalty, unless of course he maybe got a hit as well. But that means that Reed is up 8 places.
There was a lot of chaos happening through there. There were multiple incidents. There was a car on the outside that might have got into the grass. I saw them just suddenly shoot off to the left a little bit, and I think a few drivers were taking a little reactionary and diving down the inside once they saw that. And you know, sometimes it's like trying to avoid dominoes falling and destroying everyone's hard work right there. Trying to avoid a fight like that. But the IGL Coatings team right now, 1, 2, 3 right now, and they look very calm compared to the fight for 7th place right behind them, which is looking like a scene out of Wild Wild West.
Yeah, so we can probably say it'll be some of the top 10. Oh no, that's Westman off the circuit. Oh, that's going to be very costly, and that puts him down to that pack. Arroyo, Pollard and Glamsetzer. Oh, poor start for Glamsetzer. He must have got involved in that in some form or another. Cockram and Thurman had to tow back to the pits. I mean, there's going to be more pros than AMS, I think, in the B final as it stands. Absolutely, the
last time that happened was Alton Park.
Not too long ago, to be fair.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago, but I remember Alton Park did have a big chunk of pros in there because of the incidents in the heats. Now, this is in our heats so far. We've had 2 major incidents, and both of them in the Honda hairpin. So, both of them involving the same team. So, I'm guessing that team might just have the brake bias to set up for later in the race running.
Herma is looking really quick right now. He started, or he qualified in 10th place to Herma. It was a poor qualifying for him, always near the front this Sam. But he's looking as fast as anyone right now. He was pretty much matched Torp on that last lap, and he can sort of slingshot his way past these cars at the moment. Already got Yestrom back, and next up will be Larson. He'll be able to get a tow behind all the way around this lap, which should help him along a bit. But you'd expect Larson to defend a lot later on, as Anderson, here was his replay. Now, was it Anderson's fault? You'll see people move across in front of him. Oh, you see one car move across, and he's tried to take evasive action there. And unfortunately, there was just no way for him to avoid. There's Glamsetzer, I think, and to take evasive action. Oberg was able to get through clean.
Glamsetzer got pushed out wide. He just got pushed out wide right there. The car in front of Anderson, though, that was very strange. Going from the right to the left, just kind of chopped the nose. I think that kind of spooked Anderson. Anderson just got onto the brakes, but essentially because he was turning, didn't want to lock up the wheels to be the bowling ball. Unfortunately, though, when you try to avoid being the ball, you become the ball anyway. And yeah, it turns into Freaky Friday. I know it's Saturday, but it's Friday somewhere.
Is it? I don't think it is. I don't think it's Friday anyway.
It's Friday in my Sims game. Don't worry.
Okay, there you go.
It's simulation anyway, and I just.
Hay is past Blaze. Good move for the pro driver. And so Boberg, remember, amateur championship leader. It's so important for these AMs to get through to the final. I mean, no offense to this heat, as we've got Herma trying to go around the outside of Larson. This is for P2. Look how much later on the brakes he is. He squeezes his rival slightly. There may have even been contact there. Irma's so confident, and he's up into P2. Excellent work there. But no disrespect to this heat. The other heat, I think, was totally stacked. I think he nailed it earlier on, Austin. And so it is so important for these drivers to get through to the top 8, because honestly, I think even Boberg starting in P2, who's a very strong driver, like 9th place overall in the championship, I think, at the moment, wouldn't stand much of a chance against the opposition that he's got. So really important between Blaze and Boberg, and Wesman for that matter, to get into that transfer spot.
I'm about to get really nerdy here. Technically in the sim, it's April 30th, which is Saturday, 1 p.m. right there. So where I am at, according to the sim, it's April 29th. This is the worst defense I've ever tried to pull.
Okay, no. Okay, I hear you out. I agree with that one. Well done, Austin. That was some good mental gymnastics.
Today's a weird day.
Ockram's off the circuit, but quite far away from the rest of them. Anderson.
A rough day.
hits
I
it
think
then.
that's going to be damage from earlier. Thurman, just not bothered with it. Down to the inside, Josu on to Goshenbakken. Joshu and Matt's not having the best starts for them. Matt starting on the front row, and Joshu, well, starting in the second row, and he kind of fell back from that start. I think he was just being very cautious at the start.
Yeah, he sort of got offline a bit through turn 2 and then dropped back, and then of course he was overtaken by Herma, who was he's been very quick in this race. Yeah, I can't forget what he was in the race, but he's still got a chance at P3 here. Larson staying in this tow of Herma, and Herma was 2/10 faster than Torp on that last lap. I think he's actually lost time, or maybe just matched him on this lap. Half a tenth slower through sector 1, half a tenth quicker through sector 2, and so you'll see on the timing board, or the timing tower, sorry, who was the faster in the 3rd sector, and they were pretty much even when they did 2/100s in it in the end. And Larson is super close there. Yestrin back and gets him back past Alzugare, and also Blaze gets him back past Hay as well. So every lap, oh no, they're both off the circuit, Hay and Blaze, and that's their chance of getting through to the A final over, because they both got damage, and well, they had to fight for it. It was big stakes there, but that's a crucial mistake, and Blaze like towing back to the pits.
Oh, Blaze and Hay, I think they made it through turn 1 just fine. And I think that might have been Hay who got onto the grass and came across the nose of Blias. The only way we're going to know that is a replay. Speaking of that replay, here it is. And yeah, here is Michael around the outside. And side by side they go. Through there just nicely, and Hay got out wide and a big crash.
I mean, that's a decapitation in real life there. I mean, that was ugly.
That game, that really hurts to look at. This is why we need the Halo in iRacing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that was a big one. I'm not sure whose fault that was. I'm sure they'll both be saying, "Oh, he came across on me," and then the other will say, "Came across on me."
I'm gonna say this. From Hay's point of view, Blias was very tight off the exit. From Blias' point of view, Hayes didn't hold his line.
Yeah, exactly.
They both have positive things. They're both side by side through there, so they were both really going for it. But Westman is going to be thanking them, as Westman is now in 8th place and pretty much in no man's land. He's the closest competition right behind him is about 8 seconds.
Yeah, he should be fine, Wesman, to get through, as we're having this terrific battle right now between Alzugare. However, you can't help but feel like, you know, you can overtake around that part. Just going to be a sitting duck later on. Herma on that last lap, another half-tenth loss. So he's not doing enough at the moment, is Herma, to make an impression on top. If his qualifying was a bit better, he would have certainly had the pace to fight for the race win, but unless he can get it below a second and start eating up that toe, he's going to be a problem. Fortunate for him, well earned by him, so he's half a second clear of Larson, so he might be safe. As a little bit of a mistake there from Alzugare through the final hairpin, and yeah, Yesterday Back will be straight back past.
Back end's wiggling a lot. I believe he locked up heading into that final hairpin. And you see coming out of the final eggs, the back end was still dicing around trying to find grip. And then says Christian Bakken back into fourth. And these two have been, well, I've heard the phrase of going 12 rounds. This is going 12 minutes. Well, they're pretty much locked in an absolutely bombastic boxing match. And I don't think they're going to be separate anytime soon. This is the fight for 7th place. Westman on the back of Boberg. And
they're catching up to Reeve as well.
Yeah, Westman looking down to the inside of the Honda hairpin. Down to the inside goes the Suzu driver. Is just really holding all the brakes right there, trying to get the better exit though. But around the outside, Boberg is able to now transfer that over to the inside. Can Westman hold it around the outside right here? No, he doesn't. Gets a nice block of just diffuser of Eclipse Racing diffuser right there. Boberg really holding his own right there. Joshu down to the inside and back ahead of Christian Bakken.
If I'm Boberg, I am letting past Westman and saying, have 7th place all you like. It's 1 point and 2 places for the final. But I'm not having any interest in that. Boberg, championship leader, just needs a couple more. I mean, he can afford a rubbish round, to be fair, because his job score is so good. But he doesn't need the points, does Boberg? He does like to race, but I would be a lot more conservative, as I think Westman's got past him anyway. Still these guys alongside Alzugare ahead, but I don't know. I think yes, I don't think you want to be behind coming out of the final hairpin. If I'm honest, judging by what we saw in the previous race, I don't think you want to be there. But let's see. I mean, Yesterday Bakken may have the pace to get him on the run to the line, but he's fairly racy around here, isn't he? Around the outside, but has to hesitate with his turn in. And we'll have to wait behind. Still a decent chance, but yeah, I think you want to be ahead coming out of the final hairpin.
You want to be ahead, but we've been seeing Joshu having struggles heading into that final hairpin, and I think Christian Bakken's kind of might just be putting his money that Christian Bakken's going to have, Joshu's going to have that little mistake right there. But it's certainly going to be a fight for P4 as Thomas Torp. Well, he doesn't really have a fight right now. It's going to be an IGL Coatings Heat win for Thomas Torp in that 141 as they take the win, followed by Hermer and Larson. And who's going to be taking 4th place right now? Let's go to Joshu and Christian Bakken. Oh, yeah, there's no chance right there. Joshu takes 4th, Christian Bakken in 5th. Jack Reeve in 6th, Westman and Boberg advance to the finales, and Boberg did the smart thing and doesn't throw his car into oblivion and explode it like a bunch of firecrackers like Jack Reeve decided to do. But
what's happening with these guys? It's like Spec Race Abroad out here. It's like Weekend Warriors.
You know what? Sometimes sometimes you're just not happy with your machinery at the end of a race.
Certainly seems to be the case for those guys. By the way, quick shout out to Apex Racing Academy, one of the sponsors for this series. They're offering some great prizes to the top drivers and teams in the Pro and AM Championships. Of course, Apex Racing Academy offering setups for this car, and of course track guides as well, along with like 28 other cars on iRacing. So if you want to improve your sim racing performance, go over to apexracingac.com. Go get yourself a bronze, silver, or even gold monthly membership. If I mean the bronze gives you access just to one car, but it's extremely cheap. So lots of different options for you to sign up. As the heat results, Torp winning out 1.3 seconds ahead of Herman, who was closing, but Torp always had it under control. Larson, Alzugare, Yesterday Bakken and the rest advancing, but we are already gridding up for the Consolation. And what a Consolation it is! Look at that grid. I mean, Schnabel, Lado, Petsy. I mean, it's not far off what we would see in an A final. And look at Zwemster and Smith. I honestly, some very quick drivers are going to miss out on the A final in this race. I can guarantee that, Austin.
Yeah, this Consolation race is going to be absolutely packed. Schnabel going to be started up a pole with Clamstetter, Lado, Petty, Lane, Arroyo, Swemstra, Poliard, Smith, Cockram, Kybach, Anderson in 12th place. followed by Arroyo, Blyce, Martinson, Hay, Shawnee, Thurman, Helgard, as they're all lined up, getting ready to rock and roll here. Ooh, was that a jump start I just saw from Gavin Petty?
At least that he needs, but Schnabel looks as though he's got a decent start. Lado very close on the inside. Is Glamsetter able to hold on? Glamsetter has got to fight all the way if he's going to be able to keep these pro drivers behind, and that is a decent start for him. And Lado, oh, he's almost wide again. That's the exact same mistake as he made earlier on, but gets away with it this time. It's left him vulnerable against Petty, albeit he may have a penalty, as Hay has had to tow back to the pits very early on. Here comes Lado up the inside. It's crucial that he clears Glamsetter straight away. Almost running into the back of him there was Petty, but Glamsetter's positioning his car real nicely. He's been under lots of pressure. He's kept that P2 though. Big gainer so far, Zwemstra. He's up 2 places into P5. That's big for the Dutch driver. Oh, we got a spinner though, and that is Zwemstra himself. Oh, that must have been contact from behind. That is his chances of getting through to the A final. The race winner last time out can't even get to the final tonight.
Oh, that is heartbreaking right there. Another Alcatel car, lap 1, having incidents. Did they hit each other? Look who else is in the pit.
Yeah, Anderson, yeah. Although Anderson was way further back, I think. I think Anderson collected Thurman. I think Anderson and Thurman were too far back.
Oh. Alcatel is not having a good week.
As there goes Lado, finally past Glamsetter. Where is he? Glamsetter just giving up on that one. But look at that behind him. Petty and Smith chasing him down. Hopefully we'll get a replay of what happened in maybe a lap or so times as Smith passed Petty. So Smith up into that final transfer spot.
Yeah, Petty, not the best start. So he didn't get a false start penalty. He would have gone into the pits at the start of this lap, but he's side by side with Aaron Smith and Petty. Smith didn't have the best start. Petty almost jumped the start. The car lunged forward just a little bit, but not too much to trigger that false start penalty. So Aaron Smith, Swift Aaron Smith, as I like to call him, famous for making 25 overtakes in the weekend from the Consolation race all the way to the finale, up 25 spots combined to get into it. I believe it was a 5th place that he did that. So Aaron Smith definitely knows how to make his way through the field right there, and he's definitely shown that by getting into that transfer spot. And I will not be surprised we see Smith start challenging 2nd place.
Yeah, these guys sorts need to work together, don't they? They know that they're faster than Glamsetter. They can go catch him up and then both get through. Otherwise, if they keep on fighting and just go and fight Cockram, is Petty going to go straight back past? He is. I think he should be so far ahead by the time they get into turn 1. I don't think it should even be a fight. But Smith may make it into one. And, oh, he just about managed to get his car ahead. Oh, contact between the two of them. Will that cause damage to Smith? It certainly ended Petty's opportunities. He's got to be careful rejoining now. But Petty round. And that is another big driver not to get into the A final.
That is so not good, and I think Smith does have damage in the front of his car. It's a little bit different, as our YouTube chat provided some. If you're the Alcatel NHR side, one could summarize this race with beep, 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 and beep.
Doing a very good Mick Schumacher impression.
Yes, thank you.
So now Smith, the question is his car clean? He had a decent 2nd sector, but of course that's mainly corners. It was. Oh, so I know it was all by himself, wasn't it?
Petty.
But Smith probably made contact as well. But I thought that was like contact, but no, it was all by himself.
Through there. I believe he netcoded through there. There wasn't a. I don't think there was any contact between them that would cause damage, because Gavin Petty lost on his own right there. So Aaron Smith looks like he's in the clear, but he's just got to keep his pace up, because James Cochran, Gavin Petty's teammate, is right behind him.
And here's what happened to Zwemstra earlier on. So must have been a tap.
Down the inside, and oof, that was Josh Lane.
I imagine Lane will argue his innocence there. There'll be a disagreement.
I
It's
think it would
tricky,
be the same as
different
the
line.
Hayes and Blias situation where, you know, he goes down the inside. He would say, I was attacking the inside line, I could do that. And Henderson would probably just say, well, I was going around the outside, and the only way that I could make that line work is when I cut down the inside. There was no way he was going to pass me down there.
It's why we have stewards. And excellent stewards they are.
That's why I'm not a
Apex
steward.
Racing League. He will guaranteed to investigate that one. All that point incidents are reviewed by the stewards and get upgraded by 1 level as well. Any incidents on lap 1 guaranteed to be upgraded because very much encourage the drivers not to have incidents. Schnabel still leading the way. Top 3 will be very happy with this result. Smith is pulling away from Cochran, so that is very good news for him. Cochran falling out of that draft. So Smith just needs to keep up a decent pace here, and he should be home and dry. As we've got a couple of changes. Arroyo past Helgud, and also Martinson past Arroyo. Who, so there's 2 Arroyos, of course, out there. Andres is the leader, and Jose is the 2nd placed one. Doing a good job actually up there in 8th place. One of his, I think, stronger performances this one, considering the quality of the field. And yeah, but he is under pressure from Helgud. Oh, this has got a bit closer now, hasn't it?
Yeah, Leto is being caught by Glamsetter. Glamsetter all over that gearbox right there. Schnabel, I don't think we were not surprised by this one. But Leto is being caught by Glamsetter. Glamsetter, the AM driver, is really throwing it up there. And Leto is usually one of our top riders, too.
Yeah, I think it was a mistake in Sector 2. He lost about 0.8 of a second to Schnabel through Sector 2, so maybe ran wide at the Honda hairpin, for example, seemingly pulling away now. Smith 1.2 seconds back. Let's see what the lap times are this time. Of course, awful lap for Lado. Not much gain though for Smith. Good lap from Cochran though. That's exactly what he needs. Took 0.3 out of Smith, and so his hopes of the A final are still being kept alive.
Glamsetter's really slid through that corner right there. Really lost a lot of speed to Leto as Leto's starting to pull away. Less than 5 minutes remaining here in Phillip Island, and the top 5 are pretty much evenly split between each other. And James is really trying to close in on Aaron Smith to try to get that final spot. He is getting a little bit of draft out there, but he really has to start closing in on Aaron if he wants to have that opportunity to jump up into the finale and take out Aaron Smith. Well, not take him out of the race contact, but get him out of the final opportunity for Aaron Smith. I don't want to say take out because I feel like that would just be a bad omen.
Oh, he's a little bit wide through the hairpin. I'll put him off slightly offline through the left-hander. He was a 10th faster in Sector 1, matched each other in Sector 2. Now, this was the part of the lap actually where Cochran made up some time the last lap, but he's lost time this time. You can see it's gone back up to 9 tenths of a second. I think Smith has been at least 1 tenth, probably more like 2 tenths faster on this tour of the circuit. Oh, actually, no, they've pretty much matched each other too. But look at that, really closely matched were those 3 drivers. So Cochran needs a 22.7 again, needs 22.7s to the end. A little bit wide there from Smith. That'll help Cochran get out of the turbulent air, and that was a good corner actually for Cochran. Took about 1/10 of a second out, 1 tenth faster through Sector 1. So that seems to be where he's a bit faster, then even through Sector 2, and then it kind of goes up and down in Sector 3.
The current gap between them is 7 tenths. It was just a 10th gained for James right now, but Aaron Smith and James is starting to heat up pretty good, but James really needs to get on as Arroyo has had an incident. What has happened to Dorian? Well, the car is not looking as clean as it was. There was a lot of grass, so I'm guessing Honda hairpin. Somebody might have just locked up and gone wide because he's the only one out there. He's got 2 right behind him, and I feel like he's just missed a braking point, gone out wide. Oh, too much mustard into the corner. Doesn't spinning around, but he's just carried too much speed in there. It's dropped all the way down to 11th place. So that is very painful for the Force International Racing Team driver.
Sorry, I was getting overexcited there. I was confused who were actually watching, so I thought it was getting very close to being 4 and 5, but it's not. Sorry, guys. It's still 7/10. Cookham 10th faster. This is what we like to. I mean, I cannot stress how good this format is. It's such a good format. I mean, we're fussing right now. This is for 20th on the grid for the A final, but it still matters. It's a good opportunity because there will be problems in the midfield in the A final. So the difference between not getting through and getting through, both these guys could still get a top 10 in the A final if they can just be on the grid for it. Smith holding on. And decent first sector this time round for, well, actually no, Cochrane gained by a 10.5 through sector 1 this time round. 3/4 of a second, the gap Glam sets a further second ahead.
Yeah, 8/10 separating them. James really got to go because, it's going to be white flag after this, and he was taking a very tight line coming out of that corner. And he's just got to be absolutely perfect right now if he wants to get that advantage on Aaron Smith. But Aaron Smith, when it comes to these moments, he's getting a little help from Glam Center up ahead, getting a little bit of drafted there, so they're kind of stuck in a draft train, really, at like Imola, and James Cochrane's kind of feeling like Lewis Hamilton stuck behind an AlphaTauri. Luckily, he's not being lapped by his rival right now, but it's a painful situation.
Yes, yeah, it could be a lot better for him. Another quick shout out, by the way, in case something quickly happens just in a moment, we'll diversify. But SDK Gaming, who provide our overlay, which you can see up on screen, enables us to highlight those 4 advancing spots, and it's so useful when we've got race formats like this. And of course you can see the stripes as well. There's so much customization, lots of different templates as well, such as the NASCAR ticker and then the NASCAR Cup Series timing tower as well, along with sort of this F1 start overlay from a few seasons back, still the best overlay they ever had. So do check out sdk-gaming.co.uk in order to get yourself a subscription, as it doesn't really matter, but Petty just got past Charney for P10. It's not going to count for too much. Still a real disappointing day for Gavin. But a better day for this man. This is going to be a satisfying B final victory.
Yeah, the consolation race for Lennart Schnabel is going to come home in a win, and that will promote him into the finale with Lado, Glamsetter, and Smith advancing as well. James, 7/10 behind Aaron Smith, and it's not going to be enough. James is not going to happen as, well, Aaron Smith makes it to the finale. Andreas Helgaard, well, he did everything he could, up 10 spots. We'll be finishing 9th. As, well, this is going to be the end of our consolation race and the end of a few drivers' days, and, well, just a little break for some, but hey, this is definitely going to be a lot of fun for our finale. This is the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 VRS Super Series here at Phillip Island. Schnabel, Lado, Glamsetter, and Smith advance to the finale. Everybody else is going home. We'll be right back for our bang finale after these short messages.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
And we are back here at Phillip Island for the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 VRS Super Series here for another finale. Drivers are just getting warmed up and getting ready to go. Some drivers might be making a little bit of setup changes right now. Seeing what things might have worked and what things didn't work. I would expect Schnabel, who is running at that lower downforce, he'll be starting in the back. I might expect him to might put a little bit more angle on that wing.
We have a change there. What happened to Smith?
I think he got disqualified.
Ah. Sorry, did you say that previously?
No, I didn't say that. I think we're just now discovering this. I think Aaron Smith at the end of that race went straight on through the
well, you know what? I am an
carried
admin.
on.
I could. Can I see that? Oh, I'm not sure. Okay, I'll do some investigating work. I am an admin though, but we're already gritting up for the A final, so not got so much time. But wow, what a change that is! Cockram, he's going to win this race. I mean, what a fantastic Cinderella story that would be. All my money, I'm putting all of it. But my house, I don't have a house. But if I had one, it'd be going on James Cockram. This is going to be inspiring right here.
He's certainly got the luck of the gods on his side. You know, magically getting that. You know, he probably touched the rear wing of Aaron Smith.
Yes. There you go. Olsen on pole. Torp alongside him. Rosenkrantz, Hermer, Rasmussen, Larsen, Braun, Alzugare, Negretti, and Jessenback. And what a top 10. As already green lights are coming on.
Yep, 5 red lights are coming on, and we are getting ready to rock and roll here down under. In Phillip as we go green for the finale here at the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 VRS Super Series. Great start by Olsen and Torp, leading them into turn 1, and it is 2x2. 8 rows deep right now as everybody storms through turn 1, getting all the way out to the grass right there. Everybody attacking for that inside line as they're just trying to hold it through turn 2, getting pretty wide out in the background right there, but everybody's keeping it fairly clean. Some drivers going off right there. That was Thomas Torp kicking up a little bit of dust. Samuel Herbert getting past Rosekrantz right now as they're racing the first time, heading into Honda Hairpin, looking down to the inside. That's Samuel Herbert sending one down deep right there. Actually, that was Rosekrantz on to Herbert. Rosekrantz getting that spot back. Everybody making it through Honda Hairpin very safely as they head through Serbia. As they are side by side. Oh!
Leave!
Is that
oh
no.
He's had some bad luck in A finals this week from what I've seen this season, and that is another one, and that's going to be another nail in the coffin for his championship with Boberg still running out there doing decently well. So no changes in the top 6, remarkably. They've all stayed in a row, but hopefully they keep in the draft of one another and we can have a proper big race for the line. Brilliant start for Schnabel. Schnabel's up 7 places. We've got a spinner though, and that's Wesman. And Negretti as well, also having to take evasive action. So Negretti drops down to 17th. Torp very close to the race leader, but Olsen will lead heading into turn 1 on this lap 2.
Heading into turn 1, Olsen is leading indeed, but guess who had the best start of that entire time? Will you be surprised if I said Lennart Schnabel?
Oh, Braun's off the circuit.
Braun is
no,
off.
Schnabel, yeah, up 7 places, mega from him. Braun,
now.
was he? Yeah. don't think he was battling with anyone there, but he was so pacey. Well, fairly pacey at least in his heat. Shame to see him drop down there. Rasmussen ahead of Larson. This is just maintaining position though with Alzugare, who's already up one place. He is battling hard and staying in line, but these guys are losing each other time, and already they're out of draft range of Herma. We could have a lead train for the top 4. I cannot pick who is the fastest out of those top 4, but if Rasmussen keeps on fighting, this is not going to help them. There goes Alzugare, not hesitating for a moment, but that move into Luki Heise, it doesn't really work, does it? Because you guarantee the outside line for the hairpin coming up.
That's a big look down the inside and around!
And Yestrin Backcom is ahead, but he's made contact. They're glitching through one another, and now he goes onto the racing line.
No,
We've got a spin around
chaos.
it with Lado, who had no chance of avoiding. I think we also had, what's that, Bobo coming to take evasive action?
James Cochrane's in the top 10!
Comes into the top 10. Alzugare can barely drive.
I'm fanboying right now.
Russell gained loads of places there. Don't think Russell was that far up before, was he? He got ahead of Boberg and all of that. It'd be good to see that replay from Boberg's perspective.
That was just absolute chaos right now. James Cochrane in the top 10 after Cinderella storing himself through into the finale after Aaron Smith's illegal rear wing. You know, the slop's too big, just didn't allow it. Can't believe that got past tech inspection. As Boberg defending down the inside from Russell. Russell's trying to hold it around the outside. Switchback opportunity right there for Russell. That corner is too wide for even a switchback opportunity to even be considered. But good try. As here is the replay of what the heck just happened between Joshua Agzari and Christian Bakken. So it's side by side right here. The 112 just really sends it up here. That's Christian Bakken. Then this is where it gets weird. As Boberg gets so lucky. Oh.
I thought that was going to be secondary instant there. So who was that losing the car? Was it Schnabel?
It was one of the IGL cars. I don't think it was Schnabel. I think that was Scarrett.
Yeah, maybe. But I thought he was ahead of Boberg. I don't know, but
it was beside Boberg at least.
Yeah.
And down the inside. Oh, Hermer and Rasmussen down the inside. Rasmussen trying to hold it around the outside right here with that lower downforce for Hermer. And you can see Rasmussen just getting a lot of understeer and just being pushed to the outside of the track. And he had to back off a lot right there to avoid the runoff as they continue on. And that's going to be killing off that fight currently. The fight for the lead between Torp and Olsen is still strong and in awe. Delta Sport versus Top Sport. He tries for IGL, right?
Yes, he does. Yeah, these two have kind of been able to pull away from the rest. Last lap time, 22.1 for Olsen, 22.0 for Torp, and then everyone else was 3 or 4 tenths back. So it seems as though Rosenkrantz doesn't have the pace to battle these guys. After all, Torp dropping a little bit of time in the middle sector, but then he'll get a nice helping hand around this sort of next 20 seconds of the circuit. Gap will gradually come down, but I think once Torp gets a sniff of an opportunity, he's got to go for it. I think Olsen's a slightly faster driver here. I think the draft is just keeping Torp in play, but that might be all that he needs if Olsen ends up making a mistake.
Yeah, it's definitely anything that can happen here at Phillip Island. It's only been 5 minutes, and we've already had drivers with the double digits of spots gained. Schnabel and James Cochrane, they started at the very back of the grid, up to the top 10.
Ooh, Olsen a little bit wide. Got away with it though. But yeah, Cochrane really incredible there. But, yeah, Schnabel as well. Up a lot of places. And Boberg, I mean, already had 2 fingers on the trophy. He's going to have 1 hand on the trophy, well and truly, after tonight. If he can keep that 10th place, another amateur race win potentially. And I think Reeve is his closest contender in that championship as well. Of course, he's out of it. He's not going to be scoring any decent points. So, no, huge for the amateur championship. I mean, it's just remarkable. I mean, you've seen for most of the season, Austin Boberg. He just always seems to avoid the mess. I mean, it takes a lot of skill, but also a bit of luck.
I don't know if that guy has a 4-leaf clover duct taped to his head or something, but luck finds him.
I think we're going to see a move there.
Yeah, Torp's got a good run. He's had a great run through. He's not.
Oh, he doesn't want it.
Though.
He doesn't want it.
This could be strategy right now, because they are 1.5 seconds ahead of Rosencrantz, and I think the theory behind this is they just don't fight each other. If Torp doesn't put any aggression right there on Tobias Olsen, he could just start pulling away. But look how much Tobias Olsen is driving on the limit of that car. Looks like the back end was stepping out through the entire time. This is going to go all the way to the end, and Thomas Torp playing the very long game and just waiting for that one final opportunity for him to make that move. And I think he's just steadying on how Tobias Olsen is taking these corners right now.
Epic battle behind Scout, by the way, right now. I mean, they are so close to one another. Here we go. And this is Scout defending. These guys have been like pretty much nose to tail from turn 1 on this lap. And Scout held on well. That was able to make the apex. Negretti's been unlucky in this race so far. I think he lost out from the spins in front of him. Yeah, he had to run wide at the penultimate corner on lap 1. That's why he's quite far down. Braun had a spin by himself, I think. That's why he's down 14th place. And Glamsetzer hasn't really been able to move his way up through the order. I mean, he's at 4 places, but hasn't gained nearly as many places as the guys that he started around, the other guys who advanced to the A final, as from the B final, that is, as Russell a little bit wide, but again, he's going to be in it with for a great chance. Scott has really been in the mix of the battles. He's had some terrific fights. Managed to get through in 8th place in his heat too.
Oh, here we go.
And here we go. This is going to be 3 wide potentially. Russell manages to get his nose ahead. I think Scott's going to lose 2 positions here. Russell gets ahead. We'll have the inside for turn 2 as well, crucially. Any moves from behind, Negretti might just have a look, but wasn't super aggressive, willing to wait behind. And yeah, for now at least, it's Russell back to the front of this 4-way pack.
Yeah, Justin backed off at the entry there. Didn't want to make it 3 wide, but he's going to try to hold it around the outside to get a little bit of advantage. That's Russell locking up through the Honda hairpin. So Justin is still in this fight for a top 10. They're all chasing Boberg at the very front right there. So they are coming out of Serbia right now as their clock is closing in on 5 minutes to go here at Phillip Island.
Yeah, Boberg's pace isn't as strong as I thought it would be. He seemed to get past Russell real easy, didn't he, after initially taking evasive action. And now, now Russell's able to stay fairly close to him. Oh, very close for the lead again, but no need to change to it because Torp is happy to stay behind. So 5 minutes to go. I mean, that's a confidence move, isn't it, Austin? That's telling us I don't need the race lead right now. I've got enough confidence that I can stay close. As Negretti's having to go defensive against Braun, but he's given up the draft. I'm surprised he's done that. I would have thought you'd just hang around the outside and get the inside for turn 2, because, well, that's what happens when you give up the toe, and that was fairly easy for Braun, who moves to 13th. He could get a top 10 out of this still, could Braun?
Seriously could. Seriously could.
I mean, he's caught up to the 2 ahead by
right up in there.
Turn 2. Here comes Scout again.
Negret as well. He's taking a look down the inside.
Oh no, they made contact.
Oh no!
It was too far back.
Oh well, I said he was making a look on Timo, and unfortunately Timo's time was Justin Negret's time down the inside right there. Heading into Honda hairpin now. Justin has a good look. He's kind of stuttered right there. So he wasn't very committed heading into that corner. He's about a car length and a half away from Timo. And then when they slammed on the brakes, Justin's like, I'm going. And,
I wasn't necessarily the smartest move, I think, there from Negretti. I mean, I think it was quite clear that Timo was faster than him. I think it'd be best just to stay in the draft and you know, catch up to the guys ahead.
Yes, this is Scarrett on Russell. Scarrett down to the inside. Russell on the outside right there. Crossover, and Scarrett's already cleared him, but Russell's going to have a good run because Scarrett did cover off a lot of grassy smoke in the area. A lot of dust, dirt, particles.
Posting up a little bit in the top 4. For a moment, Rosencrantz was only 9/10 of a second behind Torp. but I think it's opened up again. Herma's also posted some very good times on recently. Herma's 2/10 faster than everyone ahead of him on that last tour of the circuit, but still 2 seconds back. So certainly Torp not fighting with Olsen was probably wise, because otherwise they would have definitely been caught by Rosenkrantz and co, who didn't seem to have the pace in the early stages, but as this race has gone, it seems like the pace has got to come back to them. This man's got lots of pace. Cockrum started last, up 11 places, 6/10 faster than Deck on that last lap. He will catch by the end of the race. And even Schnabel, no, Schnabel's way too far ahead, isn't he? So he's not going to catch up to Schnabel, but P8 possible there for Cockrum. But Rosenkrantz this time round, is he able to gain anything? Nah, he lost a little bit. Herma, though, he is dominant, maybe assisted by the draft, but Herma will certainly have a chance at P3. He won't be far off the leaders if he keeps up this pace.
You certainly can if they continue this pace. It's just, you gotta just look at Samuel Hermer. Is Hermer going to start fighting with Rosenkrantz, or are they going to start working together as well? And that would be a big fat nope. As Hermer around the outside at Honda Hairpin, trying to hold her out there. Then down the inside, Rosenkrantz retakes third place right there. So, well, they wanted to go for the lead. That contract has been ripped up, set on fire, thrown down the trash can, and thrown into the riverbank. And then fished out by recycling people and properly thrown away.
Yeah, yeah, it's gone, basically, isn't it? It's absolutely
Yes.
gone. It was maybe a bit of a nothing move there from Herman to go around the outside of the hairpin, but I guess Rosenkrantz has to cover it off, and that's kind of where it all starts off. So is Torp going to go for it this time? Because we are going on to the last lap. This is going to be the last lap. I wasn't sure if it was or not, but it is going to be the last lap. So Torp, is he going to leave it for the run to the line, or is he going to try to get it done now? He's trying to get it done now.
He's going to get it done now, but was it a little bit too late on him pulling on to the outside? He's side by side. They touch wheels heading into turn one. White flag in the air. Last opportunity. Crossover move by Tobias Olsen. Holding down that inside line on Torp right there. Torp, he tried to get the move heading into turn one. Olsen, though, off the exit, was able to get the elbows really out right there. He'll pull off the block, but Torp is not done yet. Torp heading into the Honda hairpin. Olsen fending down to the inside. Torp going to pressure him around to the outside right there. Thomas Torp and Tobias Olsen battling it out for the lead. Delta Sport versus IGL Coatings here at Phillip Island. Through Serbia they go. Just bumpers. Well, just barely enough time separating them, about 3/10 right now as they come through Serbia, through the S's and then up that hill. This is where Thomas Torp, we've been seeing him back off this entire time. Can he get that run he needs to capitalize on this opportunity to take the win from Tobias Olsen? He's got a pretty wide entry heading into the final quarter. He's all onto the power. He's off the track right there. Olsen defending down to the inside, but that just killed off all the momentum by Thomas Torp, and that's going to give the win to Tobias Olsen. And side by side for third place, it's Hermer taking Rosenkrantz by a nose.
Cockrum's dropped down at the last, Austin. We can't believe it. Our favourite driver, and the luck had to run out eventually. Is it fuel?
I think he
or
ran
has
out
he
of
spun
fuel.
it by himself? Boberg finishes top of the AMs. Brilliant
Can we just
performance
say
from him.
fuel, just not investigate it? We're going to die on the hill and say that he ran out of fuel.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, here we
And,
go. Oh, this suggests otherwise.
No, John, don't do this to us, John. Don't do this to us, John.
Oh, he was. Oh, man.
Too much mustard.
Just pushing so hard and then gets onto the grass.
Oh, that is.
I mean, it's still a good result. I mean, it's 5 places better than what or 6 places better than where he finished in the B final. I mean, he had fun along the way.
But here's your winner, Tobias Olsen, as he burns it down here at Phillip Island. Well, he's burning it down off the starts. Are we going to get it donuts? Come on, Tobias, give us a donut.
And also, I will add as well, this is the 5th time this season out of 7 rounds. No, sorry, this is the 4th time this season out of 7 rounds that Olsen has won both his heats and the A final as well. I mean, absolute domination from him. Not necessarily in pace, but he just doesn't make mistakes, does he? Apart from Silverstone, which was a bit iffy. Apart from that, he has not lost a race all season.
That's dominance right there. That is dominance. Here are your full results for our finale. Tobias Olsen takes the win. Thomas Torp put up a heck of a fight. Came home in second place. Samuel Hermer just barely inches out Chris Rosenkrantz by 1800ths of a second. Nicholas Rasmussen in fifth. Kitty Larson, Leonard Schnabel making a great recovery drive into 10th, up 10 spots into 7th stuff on deck. Ricard Boberg, Alexander Scarrett, Philip Russell, Christian Glamsetter, Timo Braun, Justin Egret, James Cockram, Nicholas Westman, Joshua Agzari, and Matt Gutstenbakken, followed by Alex Lato and Jack Reeve at the final spots of our grid. And we have the dominating Tobias Olsen joining us in the broadcast studio. Tobias, well, it looks like a walk in the park out there today. You never really left first place in any of the spots. Pole, the win, heat number 1, the inner heat, and then the win of the final. But I think it was a lot tighter than the results actually are showing.
Yeah, it was a good evening for me. The qualifying went really good. Took pole there, so it was really good. And then heat 1, it was a nice fight with Rosenkrantz. Really tight on the finish. And then in the feature race, Torp had good pace. I didn't really had the pace to break the toe, but yeah, it's quite hard to pull away on this track.
We saw a few drivers experimenting with the lower downforce rear wings. Was that an idea heading into this week? Did you try that?
Yeah, I tested like a few laps in practice, but I didn't like the rear end of the car in turn 2. After a few laps, it got so low. So I think it's better to go with downforce here rather than medium downforce.
All right, one last question about this race and the finale. Thomas Torp, he's been following you this entire time. He had the opportunity to overtake you multiple times. What was going through your head when you realized that he wasn't going to pass you until that final opportunity?
Well, he was just following the whole race just to, I guess, manage the gap to P3 and P4 and just not fight with me. And then I know he was going to try it on the last lap, or yeah. But yeah, I managed to side draft him into turn 1, and yeah, managed to stay ahead. So feel quite good.
Well, it was another dominator performance for you today, Tobias. Before I let you go to go celebrate this one, anybody you want to thank?
Thanks to Delta Sport and you guys. See you next time.
And thank you for another great show out here this week. Thank you, Tobias. Over to Sam. Sam, who do you got with us?
Because I haven't had a chat with him for a little while, I'm going to bring up Mr. Phillip Russell. And those of you new to the series won't be familiar. That's Phillip is the actual brother. Oh no, he's gone back. He doesn't want to be chatted to. What is this? I mean,
he doesn't want your misinformation being spread.
It's not misinformation. They're brothers, all right? Okay, I'm gonna have to drag in someone else then. So who will we have?
Chat's demanding Schnabel.
Okay, I bow to societal pressure in that case. Lennart Schnabel joins us in the commentary box now. He had a very action-packed day. Lennart, you must be sweating quite a bit after that because, 3 races tonight, and all of them you were in the wars.
Not in the last one. But yeah, it was very disappointing. Got taken out in the first race. Couldn't keep up with a broken car, and just tried my best, and yeah, I mean, a 7th place, starting from the back is very good. Didn't expect that, if I'm honest. Yeah, it was a sketchy evening for me, and especially for my team. yeah, it was not what we've hoped for. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying on the lap ones, you guys seem to have it rough. Everything seems to be going wrong for you. Yeah, of course, missing out on the on the top 8 in race 1. I mean, what was the perspective from the incidents in the A final? Because, like you said, you were able to get up to P7. You just seem to get through it all. I mean, were you just, in the perfect place at the perfect time? How was it from your perspective?
I had a decent start. Made up 2 positions already before the first corner, and yeah, there were some gaps opened, and I just went for it. I had nothing to lose. Yeah, it was very sketchy, if I'm honest. But it all went clean. So it was scary at some points.
Yeah, I certainly understand that one. And then next week we have got Virginia International Raceway. Have you ever even raced there? It's not visited much.
I've raced the GTEs quite a long time ago there. I'm not really looking forward to it. I feel like it's a shitty track. More shitty. It's shittier than Oulton Park, and that says a lot. Yeah.
I could kick you out right now, Lennart, just to let you know, so
Yeah,
don't
I
don't
know, I
push it too
know.
far,
I
right?
will bring you back in. You have my approval.
Yeah. Let's see what it brings to us. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
let's see. I mean, I know you're just trying it to annoy me here, Lennart, but yeah, that's all right, all right. Who would you like to give a shout out to?
a shout out to my team. They have had a hard day. Um, yeah, to my parents, and yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Lennart, and best of luck next week.
Thank you.
Lennart Schnabel there, P9 in the heats, winner of the B final, and then 7th in the A final, gaining more places than anyone else. Austin, who are you chatting with next?
This is a tough one. I'm trying to figure out who I want to talk to. Who is somebody that we've rarely talked to of these two? Chris or Nicholas?
Probably chat to Nicholas more, I think.
All right, so Chris it is then. Joining us in the booth, finishing in 4th place. Chris, how's that fight towards the line of that final lap?
Yeah, it was pretty close, but in the end, Samuel Hermer is in front of me, so he did a better job. So yeah, P4 is okay, but yeah, very very close, and was quite funny to battle with him the last lap.
Well, it's all about fun and having a good time out here. It was a great race towards the line with you and Samuel Hermer. Your day has been a lot of up and down today. You want to talk about your heat race?
Yeah, the heat race was quite good. I was able to yeah, gain directly like 3 positions in the first lap from P4 to P1. Then yeah, the guys had a bit of uh, advantages with the slipstream. I tried to overtake Tobias Olsen in the last lap in the point uh, where we have no more slipstream, so I can lead the race until the line, but it didn't work because yeah, he closed the gap too much and I had no opportunity to overtake. Oh, that's it, in my opinion, about the heat.
Well, it was a good result for you. Top 5, 4th place, a great photo finish at the line. Next week it is Virginia International Raceway. How you feeling towards that?
Yeah, the track is quite tricky. You have to be a bit careful. Maybe you push not that much in the race, because you want to finish the race. But let's see how the race will go on.
All right. Well, it was a fantastic day for you. Virginia is next week. Before we let you go, anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank Simsa Esports for the good setups and that I can drive for the team.
Well, certainly we're proud of you for this great performance. Thank you for joining us, Chris, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. And also thanks for the good broadcast.
Thank you. Sam, any final words?
Just that I like this format. I know it's all I've said tonight, but I just really, really like the format, like the track. Virginia will be interesting next time out. I mean, not a lot of overtaking opportunities. I think we'll have a big disparity in pace as well. It's a real tricky circuit for the drivers to handle. Yeah, we will wait and see. I don't know. I literally don't know what to expect. There will be slipstreaming though. I mean, we've got some long straights around there, but geez, it's one of the trickiest circuits I think on the sim.
It's certainly going to be a trip from one of the fastest slipstream focused circuits to one of the most technical circuits in the world as we head over the seas to America and Virginia International Raceway for one of my favorite tracks that I've driven on in real life. So it's going to be a lot of fun next week here at the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 VR Super Series. Thank you all joining us here on Apex Racing TV here at Phillip Island. I've been joined by Sam Fitzpatrick and John Robertson in the production booth. And I'm Austin Knight. And I hope y'all have a good night.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.